What cards should you collect? I talk about that next. Good afternoon, everybody. So, what should you collect? Now, there are people who ask that question. People who come back into the hobby after a long time. People who are new to the hobby. They're asking us question, what makes sense to collect? Well, I'm going to address that today, especially since there's so many opinions and so very many pointed opinions about what people should collect in this hobby. Now, before I get into that, if you could please hit that like, hit that subscribe, that will help me grow this channel. And if you want to get notifications of when I got new content uploaded, hit that notification bell below. All right, so that question, how do we answer that question? Well, let's first look at how people tend to answer that question. A lot of different answers, but generally they come down to don't buy wax, buy singles, buy rookies, collect the rainbow, buy silver prism, or chrome refractors, because those are the go-to, apparently. Get your cards graded. Obviously, not all of them make sense to be graded, but get them graded. That boosts the value. Consider short-term or long-term value. And then the opinion that they need to hold monetary value or they're important to the greater hobby, etc., etc. So, what is my response to all those different opinions? Well, to me, the answer of what to collect really comes down to two criteria. One, is it going to put you in debt? Don't go into debt, especially for something like this. It's a hobby, okay? Two, focus on what brings you happiness. It really comes down to that. It's a hobby, it's a pastime. If it's not bringing you joy, why are you doing it? If this particular card that you bought or kept isn't bringing you any sort of happiness, you got it because everybody else tells you to have it, why do you have it? So, what does it mean? What do I mean when I say focus on what brings you happiness? Well, that can be anything, whatever brings joy to you. Okay, it could be that day trading approach where you're focused on the monetary value of the card in the next month, 2 months, year, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, whatever. If that brings you joy, have fun with it by all means. I am not judging you on that. The issue is where people with that approach expect everybody else to do the same. Now, what brings you happiness could be collecting the rainbows. It could be collecting specific players or teams. I started collecting all the Blue Jays cards I can find. And then I started refining my approach as I realized, okay, this is what's bringing me happiness. This is what's not really moving me. And just start focusing more towards what was going to bring me joy. Some people collect sets. Okay, that could be all of a particular set. Allen and Ginter is a prime example. Topps Archives is another example where you got all of these set collectors. Those sets could be all of the base. No harm in that. Nothing wrong with that. It could be all of a particular color. It could be all, etc. It could be whatever you want that set to be. You wanted to, you could even collect odd or even numbered base cards if that was your thing. It can be as wild and crazy and specific and as individual as you are. You could even collect cards where the players are looking to their left or they're looking to their right. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to make some kind of sense to you and put a smile on your face. Some people collect players from their own town or region because there's some meaning to them. There's a story behind it. So don't let anybody else tell you what you should collect. A lot of times those people who are doing that, they think highly of their own opinion. That's fine, that's great. Sometimes it comes down to tribalism. What do I mean by that? Well, they're saying that you should do this because this is what everybody else is doing, or this is what the majority of the people, and I'll use air quotes, majority from their perspective are doing, ignoring or not being aware of all the other people who are out there buying cards, buying packs at Walmart or Target or the local card shop, just doing things casually, not even concerned about or worried about, well, is this card going to be worth $10,000 in the future? No, they're just seeking enjoyment out of it. But with this tribalism, why do people do that? Why do they care what anybody else collects or why they collect? Well, we evolved to have this sense of tribalism. You see this tribalism in everything. It's sports cards, it's computers, it's cell phones, your favorite sports teams, the country you live in, etc. It's because people have evolved to find safety in numbers. And we're not the only species to do this. Just look at any species out there, especially the prey species like deer, antelope, zebras, you name it. They find and do realize safety in numbers. We evolved the same way. Now, we like to think we're at the top of the food chain, that we're the top predator on the planet. Well, we are because of our tools. If it weren't for the tools, we'd be a prey species. We are a fundamentally weak animal. So, in addition to tools, we find our safety in numbers. And that doesn't have to be just in a physical location. So, just consider that if they're telling you to do things the way everybody else is doing it, that's that tribalism that we've all evolved to feel and send ourselves in. So, in the end, you are living with your collection. The value they hold should be their value to you. If a card has monetary value, but there's no value to you personally, unless you're the day trader type, which if you are, that's fine. But if you're not, if it holds monetary value but no value to you, unload it, sell it, use the money to get what you want, but don't worry about holding on to something that doesn't bring you joy. So that's it. My 2 criteria for what to collect. 1, don't go into debt. 2, focus on what brings you happiness. So, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.